Yesterday we began looking at the appeal of wisdom as we see in the book of Proverbs. Yesterday we looked at a father's appeal to wisdom as he is seeking to impart his wisdom to his son. But today we're going to look at the second way that wisdom appeals in the book of Proverbs, and that is wisdom appeals to itself. And as we look at the passages that we will be examining today, what we're going to see is the wise man, Solomon, personifying wisdom and describing her as appealing to man and seeking to encourage others to take heed to this wisdom. We see in chapter 1, verses 20 and 21, that wisdom shouts in the streets. She lifts her voice in the square, and at the head of the noisy streets she cries out. At the entrance of the gates in the city she utters her sayings. The fact that wisdom is being described as shouting and crying out in the street, in the square, at the head of noisy streets, and at the entry gates of the city, is meant to show us that the call of wisdom is that which is made publicly and it is open to all. But yet there is no mention of a crowd gathering around, eager to learn from the one that is proclaiming wisdom, only an inattentive refusal to receive wisdom, as we see in verses 24 and 25. But the lesson is that though wisdom calls out to all, not everyone will obtain wisdom. Therefore, if one does not grow in wisdom, it is because they have rejected wisdom, not because wisdom was not attainable to them. As we've already noticed in our lesson yesterday, the father imparting wisdom to his son. What if there was no father to impart wisdom? What if the father is unwilling or unable to teach his son? Although the son in such situations would certainly be at a disadvantage, there is still wisdom to be gained, as wisdom itself is calling out to all openly and freely. Then we notice verse 22 of chapter 1. How long, O naive ones, will you love being simple-minded, and scoffers delight themselves in scoffing, and fools hate knowledge? Incredibly, there are many people who prefer life without wisdom, at least the divine wisdom that is being offered to them here. They love being simple-minded and they hate knowledge. You know, we often hear the phrase that ignorance is bliss. And to those who are willingly foolish and naive, this is their motto, that ignorance is bliss. They know just enough about the wisdom that invites them to have convinced themselves that they want to have no part of it. Instead, they delight themselves in scoffing, preferring to ridicule and mock rather than learn and grow. But why would so many people prefer simple-mindedness and foolishness over the wisdom that comes from above? Well, Solomon gives us the answer in the next verse. Turn to my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit on you. I will make my words known unto you. Friends, for one to abandon the truth, for one to turn away from the call to wisdom, then this is something that is sheer foolishness. Wisdom is stretching out its hand to us, but reproof will be poured out upon those who do not seize that wisdom. And those who are forsaking this wisdom that is so freely given to all, they need to be shown how they are in error so that they can make correction and follow that which is right. This key component in gaining wisdom, that of reproof, it's something that's uncomfortable. It's something that is undesirable to many people. People don't want to be told they're wrong. They don't want to have their faults pointed out and to be told that they need to do something in a different way. Well, this is why many people reject divine wisdom. And as we will discuss more in depth later in our study, we can infer from this passage that we must be willing to listen to reproof. We must be willing to admit that we are fallible, that we do make mistakes. We have to be able to say that word that is so hard for people to say, that we're wrong. And we have to be willing to make corrections in our lives. And if we're willing to do these things, then wisdom cries out. Wisdom appeals to us that she will pour out her Spirit upon us and make her words known unto us. Friends, we thank you for joining us for our program today, and have a blessed day.